I want to take a closer look at my current EDC toolkit. This is what I carry around with me 90% of the time, and I get most of the tasks done with just the tools I have at hand. This is for haunted house, for repairs, just for daily every little thing. These are the things I end up reaching for the most, and I have them built into this little Night Eyes case, which is about the right size. You can put it through pretty good sized belt loops, but it has a nice little clip on it, and there's a little bit of storage in the back, which right now it's kind of messy, but this is where I kind of stash some, don't mind all of the dirt, this is all haunted house dirt, but it has a little pocket in the back which allows me to stash a couple items. So how I usually load it is I have a bunch of zip ties. I mean, I don't even have to justify putting those in a kit. The number of times I've needed a single zip tie or a couple zip ties more than justifies me carrying these around, and it doesn't hardly take any space. So just jump back here, get those in and out of the way, and I can pull them out with one hand if I ever need to. I just yank them out of here. The other thing that goes back here is a 6-inch adjustable wrench. I usually don't need much bigger. Yep, size usually matters, but not in this case. And I put a nice little tether so I can reach it. Also, this gets modified. Sometimes I can clip it onto a tool belt so it won't fall off if I'm up on a ladder. So like that. This thing is really comfortable to carry around, and the fact that it has like a decent, belt clip kind of goes a long ways. But this one is just my current favorite. Flashlight, obviously. Just a simple like click it on and off. Oh, looks like I need new light batteries, but simple tail one. But also this one just fits in here real well. Sometimes I carry a better one that's rechargeable, but this one most of the time does the bill, and if I lose it, I won't cry over it. A couple pens, a white one, and then a black or a red. I just happen to have red now, but these are must-haves. Also a pen, right? It's better if it's haunt related, but it doesn't have to be. This little thing, it's just a pokey stick. It's a metric Allen wrench, which sometimes it actually came in handy for a couple of projects, but I just sharpened the end of it, and it's really strong. And this thing is great for untying knots, resetting buttons, poking stuff, making holes and stuff. I can't tell you how many times this thing has come in handy, so it is now just earned a permanent spot. Snips, must have. Cut zip ties, cut through rope, cut through plastic. All the stuff that you do in a day-to-day task. Serrated, blades. That's why I like these. Decent size. You can get a tremendous amount of torque. They don't take up much room, and usually better than carrying a knife the majority of the time. A micro screwdriver. This is a particularly cool one that has like really tiny ends. It has this end that you can use as a pencil, also as a reset tool. I don't use that part very much because I like having a pen, but all of this fits into this little magnetic screwdriver holder, and that's a pretty good one. Sometimes this changes, but generally that's one I like, and this one fits in here pretty well. I used to have one that had a like a flat blade on one end, and then the Phillips on the other end, but that tend to kind of poke me sometimes, so this is just a more friendly, catches out on stuff less. Mini pry bar. This one happens to be a little extravagant. It's this one is stainless, but I also have one that is titanium. Haven't quite decided to go this one full time. This one has some more utility. It has like a little screwdriver and a bottle opener and stuff, but I just like this one because I can actually get in there and pry open boxes or pull staples, that kind of stuff. This just sits in here. A lot of times I forget I have it, but when I need it, I'd rather use that than to crank on a screwdriver. And then this very old multi-tool. This one, just one that I've modified over the years for my needs. Like it's got what I need most of the time. It's got a nice sharp blade. It's got a very good file. I think it's still a little bit better than some of the leather ones I've used. This little saw is super sharp. I've used it to cut holes in drywall and stuff, and it's fantastic. You got the small blade screwdriver, and this I don't use very much. This flat blade I modified. I ground it to be a little bit smaller, and it fits really well, and it's worn really well. It's not the fanciest tool, but it works really well. I don't think they still make this one in the US. This one, I think, has now been moved to overseas, but still a good one. And the cutters and the tip are still working great. It's got to be 20 years old. One other thing I did on this thing, which is kind of funny, when I used to do a lot more telecom, I modified the scale here, this little tool. I think it was like for fish hooks originally, but I ground it down so it actually fits a 110 punch block. So I can kind of just do a quick cross connect, or even punch down the wire and then just use the blade to cut off the end if I need to make the rare 110 AT&T cross connect. That's a lot of mumbo jumbo, but it's just a good set of pliers, and it all fits in this little case. It fits on my hip, and so I always have this when I'm working or troubleshooting, and I know what I have, and usually I don't need a whole lot much else from this. Put a little bit of tape on there. I might put a couple different types of tape depending on what I'm doing, but that's the general kit.